Hey everybody, we're just about to let people in to the first new moon of the year.
Hello.
So
Exciting.
here we go. Here they come. Welcome, welcome. Guillaume, Maria, Andre, wherever you are. Yes, you are. Lovely to see you.
Hello.
We just want to welcome you all in and say very excited that this group got together for the first new moon of the year. It's incredibly auspicious. And if you don't know Sam and myself, we'll just do a teeny weeny little intro. Do you want to start, Sam? Say who you are? Who are you?
Who am I? Good question. All right, so I'm Samantha Briatico. I have founded the business Birthing in New Earth, and this is a collective of women, and we share in a common vision to create a new earth, new ways, new pathways into feminine leadership, how we do business, even going into the realms of birth and motherhood as well. But when we work on these areas and we adopt the feminine principles around there, then I feel like we can make massive changes in the world. And then I think the way we do business in a more collective community way is the way forward. So I do online summits that I've done in the past. And then now I'm doing a series of live summits happening. We just did one in London with Anara and quite a few other ladies, which was really beautiful. And yeah, that's me. And now Anara has been a dear friend and a mentor to me. And now it's really beautiful to be a co-creator and collaborator with her as we work on this series of events with the Path to Pleasure. So thank you, Anara.
Great. It's very sunny in London today. It's very cold, but you can see I'm avoiding the sun a little bit. If I go like this, it's too bright, but it's so beautiful. And I will just say about myself that I'm a spiritual life, love, and business coach. I've worked on business for so long. But what I really realized is that the minute that you're looking at the projects that you're putting out into the world, it will always impact your life and your love. So I can no longer just say it's just spiritual business, although that is really what I focus on, is how to get people's projects out into the world and bringing the money, bringing the money. Like, one of the big pieces that I did very early on was to be daring enough to speak money into spiritual circles where it was almost like a dirty word. Spiritual people have to be good and clean and poor. And challenging that, I'm talking like 30 years. So, challenging that stuff and then actually building businesses which are worth millions, all on spiritual constructs, all on spiritual energy, all sustainable, vital, vibrant, great for the planet, great for the humans. So now I'm a mix of that. And the work that we're doing this year, Sam and I are really working on this path to pleasure. And it's the ingredients that literally just before the Gaza war broke out, not war, but genocide broke out, I had literally said, I think the day before, if people were more focused on pleasure, there is no way there could be violence or wars in the world, because you'd be so immersed in your own experience of what connects you so deeply to the planet, people, and animals. And I feel that pleasure is, it's misunderstood. It's often given to us in the old order. It would be something that happens at the end of a hard life of toil. You get a little bit of pleasure. And this is how, corporate America works, and how the Industrial Revolution sold to us how to stay stuck in one thing for your whole life. You might get a raise once, but it was like slavery, because you get the pleasure at the end. And you can see it in religion, where it's like, oh, your life is irrelevant, but when you get to heaven, then you get the pleasure, the good times. So we want to shake up this old model of introducing pleasure as an operating system, like the pleasure of being in nature. And this is the beginning of that. We're working all the way to an event which is happening over the summer solstice, which you are all invited to. And it's in England, and it will be 3 days. And there's this very auspicious time, and that's why we're working on these key moments. Very auspicious time that on the summer solstice this year, which represents full masculine, there's a full moon, which represents full feminine. And then we're going to do some work over the 3 days, 3 different rituals going on, one each night. Full masculine fire festival, full feminine deep cacao ceremonies, and then moving into the 3rd night, which is the alchemical marriage. And this is like a symbol of power shift this year for all of us. So that's a little teeny weeny little bit of why we're working on these key moments. The first full moon of the year is a new moon, and full moon. We'll be doing something on that too. But the first new moon is the most auspicious sign of beginning. Like, what are you beginning this year? What are you commencing? What is the, like, lighting the flame to your dreams today, tonight? And I'd love to just get in the chat. Where are you guys in the world? Where are you actually coming in from? Send us a little chat so we know, and we can start the chat off. The light.
So
oh, you
Andre,
say it's dark and cold up there. Oh, it's so bright down here. It's amazing. Like, you know, beaming. Cape Town, amazing. And it looks like you're at we're almost at 11:11 in English time. So amazing. Cape Town, Andre. Yeah, Guillaume is in north of London. And Maria, who's disappeared, is in Perth, I believe.
no, she's in Brisbane. I'm in Perth.
Brisbane, you're in Perth. So it's interesting. We've got the Australians, the South Africans, the Brits coming together, and anybody who watches afterwards, you know, welcome, welcome. Can't wait for this kind of initiation. And I think one of the things that I'd really like to get you to tune into is we often have too much on our plate. We often think, what is the whole list of things I'm going to do this year? You know, and it will be categorized into different sections and ingredients. But what I'd like to get you to think about, if there was one shift that you made that impacted all of those things, all of those areas of health, of love, of business, of wealth, of your communications, say, of your connections, what would that be? And it's a deep, deep thread of how I look at it. Everything I do is in cycles. I work with cycles in business and spirituality. Oh, cat bum alert. Hang on, Phoenix. Phoenix is always in all of these, but we prefer the front end of him. So it's sometimes very hard to think, well, what is that thread? Because, you know, when you're thinking about what are you lighting this spark to your dreams, you often think about what I want. What do I want? What do I want to manifest? How can I create this thing? Oh, here's a goal. But it's very different than thinking, well, what is the underlying shift that you want to bring in this year? An example is when I looked at everything that I was doing last year, and it was a really exciting year for me. There was lots of invitations and opportunities to become more visible. And I'm quite a behind the scenes person in a way. You know, it's my human design as a projector. I guide people, but often very much from a behind the scenes. I used to be a professional photographer, so I was photographing others to make them look good from behind the scenes. And what came to me was that last year it was all about stepping into the forefront, actually. And if I then take that thread of all the things that were happening last year to make that statement, I am stepping out, there's visibility, there's more, you know, going outward, then what would be a natural extension of that And the natural extension for me is that I want to do tons of public speaking. It's like that's the natural extension. Now, if I become more visible and more public, then how is that going to affect all the other things that I do? Well, in health, for instance, it's like I feel a real drive to do more yoga. You know, I do a lot of yoga anyway, but even more because my health is so part of being visible. I want to be, I'm not hiding, I'm not, you know, just grunging out. What does it look like when I go into, say, groups and community? Well, actually, for me, fashion has come up a lot in this visibility. I really want to, you know, make some statements in fashion. I love it, but I haven't always had years where I've needed it. I'm just, you know, schlepping around in my jeans and whatever. But so you can see how it starts to affect you even in health. Like, what does visibility mean in health? I want to take care of myself more. I'm looking for a partner. So I'm becoming more visible because the projector piece of my human design means I need him to see me. I need him to observe me. It's not something I can do with my kind of design. It's like, so being visible is really important in the love zone as well. So have a think about what would be the one thing that you could bring in a shift. What's the thread that you could light this spark of today and add it into, Guillaume, you're saying, how do you set your intention on paper? You write it down. What do you mean? I'm just being cheeky.
Sorry, yeah, sorry about that. I just, I mean, when you write it down, how do you say it when you write it down, when you set the
Well,
intention?
as short and as sweet as you can, because the more focused you can be on this. So for me, it's like, this is a year of radiance. That would be my statement. It's a year of radiance. I'm radiating. Everything is going outward. There's nothing about, oh, private secret moments or, you know, it's not, that's not important this year. So the shorter you can make your intention and the more that you can own it as a beingness rather than a doingness. So I am radiating
Right,
is
okay,
enough,
understand.
right?
For mine, what comes through for me and what I've been thinking about is like I'm moving forward with grace and ease. And this comes back, this directly links to like path of pleasure. And what Anara was talking about earlier is that we often have this program that life has to be hard and that there's this struggle and that we have to put effort in. But then actually it's not, doesn't have to be that way. And so then when we move forward with grace and ease, then it's a more trust, it's a more surrender, it's a more inner, you know, it's slowing down to get into my inner intuition to guide me. So then I know I'm always in the right spot. And then it is following that pleasure as the guidepost, what feels good for me and moving in that direction. So that's just a little one for me.
Yeah, and I wonder if you could distill it even more.
Mm.
You could become the graceful, easeful. You could
Yeah.
become it rather than moving forward. Cut that out because that's a doing,
Mm.
you know? And it's like if you could become a being, then
Yes,
I
I
am,
am grace and ease. Yeah.
yeah, I
Mm.
am it already.
Yeah.
And I see, yeah, leading from your heart, Maria, amazing, because that's so you. And even stronger. I mean, it's like distilling the best ingredients to produce the best result in all areas. So let's see, I desire to sell a lot of my fictional ebooks. That's a want and a wish. So if you want to get into what's at the root of selling, it's really connection. Sales is all about connection, you know, and the more that you connect, so I am a connector. I am a, maybe that word isn't the right one for you, but it's, sales is all about intimate connection Like, how do you sell to people is not what you think. It's like, it's not the thing that sells, it's the experience that sells in all sales. So, who are you at the level of sales that is that magnetic, compelling energy that people want to know, to read, etc.? So, distill it a little bit more, have another go at that. And Andre, do you have one that you want to mention? Do you want to unmute and
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone.
hey?
Yeah, this year is my year of community. And that's really what I'm tapping into, collaborating professionally, socially, all of that. It's really about shifting from an individualist mindset to more of a collective consciousness mindset.
Great. So how could you say that?
I'm open to give and receive in loving, collaborative harmony.
I think you could go even more distilled, and it would be something like, I am the heart of community.
Beautiful.
Something like that.
Yeah, that works.
And I don't want to, walk all over your desire or intention, but if you can see how we want to add things in all the time. I want a really hot boyfriend who understands me completely and who is, of this age range and, his hair is like that and blah, 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 blah. And that is often what we end up doing, right? And especially when you get those, I mean, it is hilarious on relationship chats that you'll have coaches who tell you, write a list of all these freaking ingredients. And it's like, no, what's the essence of the beingness that you want to be with this person? So less is more. And you can mull about this longer because we want to move it now into something else, but you can get how stuck you can get on the academia of it. Like, how do I really speak to my desires? Let it go, let it go, let it go, but distill it, distill it, distill it, and come back and try again. And really, you want to make it like time sensitive. It's like today, that's it. You got today to figure it out. That's it. You're not gonna like carry on over a few days and try and make it more and more impressive. I'm radiating connection with passionate readers. Much, much more of the, that's like much more connected. So to put that to one side now, Sam, do you want to get us to do the next little bit?
So now we've been talking, and again, what Anara said, we've kind of been in the head. So let's get into the body, and we're going to do a somatic practice of shaking. And so this is going to really get us into the body, and just imagine like we're releasing the old, we're releasing the heaviness, the struggle, and getting ready. Once we finish this, we'll come and sit back down, and then Anara is going to take us through a really beautiful guided transmission. So just go ahead and stand up, finding some space, because you really want some space to be able to just shake and then get into the body and make sure your breath is long and just let it go. Like there's no right way or wrong way to do this. It's just complete shaking and releasing. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait, Nara, could you make me host?
I've made you a co-host.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. So we can just start any kind of movement you want as I start to get the music ready for us.
So we're going to do this for a specific number of minutes, 3 minutes. And then we're going to go straight into this next piece of activation. So while you're doing this, you might also just be like, I'm radiating, I'm radiating, I'm radiating, I'm radiating.
Let's get ready. Radiate through the music. Here we go. Really.
Can you feel the sun glow through the windows? Can you feel the sun glow through the windows? Can you feel the sun glow? Can you feel the sun glow? When the sun comes up, all the stars will fade. All this darkness will slip away. This whole world will become awake when the night time turns into day.
I like to close the eyes and then we get into the body, keep deepening that breath.
Can you feel the sun glow? Can you feel the sun glow through the window? The world around us is made of shadows, but inside there shines a candle. Be strong, don't give up, no. Let your light
Going,
shine
let it go,
through
let it all
the
go.
window.
Last few moments, start to slow it down, slow the movements. When we start to get those last few movements out, that last little release, take a few deep breaths. As you stand here, just feeling into the body, feel the feet grounding down into the floor, into the earth. Another couple deep breaths and just slowly start to find a seat. Taking your time, no need to rush. You may just want to continue just closing the eyes, focusing on the breath. You may want to place your hands gently on the lap or on your belly, whatever feels comfortable. And just focusing on that inhale and exhale and the sensations within the body.
So allowing yourself to melt into the chair or the surface that you're sitting on, uncrossing your legs and your hands. Taking a deep breath in to flush out any energy of that thinking mind. And exhale. And another one of those. Deep breath in. And exhale. And one more of those. Deep breath in. And exhale. And then allowing yourself to sink in and imagine yourself in the most beautiful landscape on the planet. It can be any season, any place, any country, but allowing yourself to really go into the landscape, nature that you truly love. And as you allow your inner eye to experience the colors of this beautiful nature, feel the soothing effect it has on you. And imagine that you're breathing those very colors in. And notice if you can hear any sounds in this beautiful place. Notice if you can feel the wind on your body, on your face, blowing your hair a little bit. What's the temperature like? Can you pick up a scent? Like an animal sniffing the air. What is your sacred nature spot like? What does it smell like? And then noticing as you bend down to look at the earth and the texture of the earth, notice what kind of earth are you actually standing on? And notice that your feet are bare and that you are naked. And the feeling that you get from being naked in this beautiful place is freedom and safety, knowing that you will not be interrupted. You are completely safe to express yourself in the wildest of ways. And a little further out, you realize that there is a pathway that is moving down a slow hill into some trees. And you follow the path barefoot and naked, feeling that the temperature is perfect for you. And as you follow the path down, what you realize is that you're coming into a sacred ancient grove. And in this sacred ancient grove, there is an unlit bonfire. There is also an altar to the left. And you feel compelled to move over to the altar, and on it are the 4 elements. So there's a cup, a chalice of sacred water. There is some incense billowing. There is a tiny candle already lit. And there are some crystals representing earth. And the guardian of this place enters the grove. This may be an animal, it may be a mythical creature, It may be somebody you already know. And the guardian of this place tells you that you have all the ingredients, you have all the balance of the elements on this new moon to be able to light the spark of your dreams. As you pick up each element, you pick up the incense and feel that within this there is the symbolism of breath, of music, of communication, of song. And you hold it up in the east and declare yourself, I am ready. And placing it back on the altar, you pick up the candle and intuitively know to take it to the south. Holding it up, this is the symbol of masculine connectedness, of warmth, of healing, of inspiration, of adventure. And you hold it up in the south and you say, I am ready. And then moving back to the altar, putting the candle down, you pick up the chalice of water and intuitively take it to the west. This is the symbol of female connectedness, of emotional connection, of deep wound healing, of fertility, of sexuality. And you hold it up to the west and say, I am ready. And then taking it back to the altar, replacing it and picking up the handful of crystals, you move back to the north. This is earth. This is the symbol of deep commitment, deep connection, of silence, of endurance, of community. And you hold it up and you say, I am ready. And taking it back to the altar, the guardian of this place helps you rearrange them into the perfect symbolic altar for you to understand that you are ready, and hands you a gift. You feel the gift in your hand before you even know what it is. As the guardian slips it into your right hand, you feel the weight of it. You feel the shape of it, the texture of it. Before you even open your hand, you have a sense of it. And then you open your hand. Looking down into your hand, you realize this symbol is guiding you for the whole of this journey this year. And that it's going to help you activate something very deep within you. Opening your hand, you look at it. You become familiar with it. And then you place it at the center of the altar. This is a deep reminder of your journey this year. Then taking the candle, which is still on the altar burning, you pick up a dry leaf and you light the leaf and turn directly to the center of the circle, moving over towards the huge bonfire, which is unlit. And you declare out loud your statement of what you are being this year, who you are being, the beingness that you're bringing into being. Holding it up with the candle, with the leaf that is burning, you make a statement and then drop the leaf onto the pile of wood, which flickers and has a little tiny spark at first, just the tiniest, so that you know the connection has been made. And then as you watch, you see the fire perfectly take light. As it moves all the way under the lower part of the fire, all of the base is lit up. And then gradually the flames flicker higher. And as you stand in front of your fire, you feel the destiny that is calling you. This is the connection of you, your soul calling with your destiny upon the earth this year. And as the flames flick and lick up, you feel the warmth of the fire and the inspiration that you are creating, even in your own heart. Some of the sparks go flying up into the sky, and as you look up, you see the tiniest of the crescent moon, the tiniest sliver of a moon shining down in the indigo sky. And you know, I am ready. Allowing yourself to take that vision, bringing it back, and with your eyes shut, rub your hands together, creating heat. Bless me. Generate heat, rub, 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 rub. And then place your palms over your closed eyes, breathing in and exhale. And then allowing yourself to rub your hair, back of the neck, jaw, front of the throat, heart, solar plexus, belly, all the way down to the lowest part of your belly, lower back, kidneys, and then moving the energy all the way down your legs, sending it down towards the earth as you ground it with this Capricorn new moon in earth. So mote it be. So somebody, would you like to say anything about what it was like for you to start? Anybody want to share what it was like for you? Anything at all? Joe? I saw you unmute. Yeah, Joe?
Yes, thank you. I just got in at the tail end of Sam's and into your meditation, and that was beautiful. Yeah, I was really in that, and the power of the I am ready. You know, I have everything, the elements are all there. And then I mean, I don't know if you want me to share any details what came through, but
go for it. Whatever you feel like, it helps everybody.
yeah, the centerpiece, the gift was a golden egg with like you know, with like veins in it, like colored veins in it. And then the word that came through was just I am golden. So
Nice.
I mean, it's not very practical, but it's nice, nevertheless. So yeah, so I feel that, yeah, I feel ready. So thank you for that, because that's
And
really
actually, you
nice.
missed the bit at the beginning where we were getting a distillation of what you're creating this year. And I was talking about it being a beingness rather than a doingness. That's perfect for you. I am golden. You could, yeah. I mean, that could be your statement for the year. I'm working with it. I'm golden. Whatever that means for you. It's such a deep internal mechanism, and it's very not practical, Dr. Joe. And that's exactly what we want.
I
Not
mean, it
practical.
brings up the feminine, the
Totally.
the sumptuous, and I mean, and the, you know, the money, and you know, bring it on.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
also, and it's also, I thought, oh, yoni egg. Well, let's not go there. But hey, you know, it's an egg, nevertheless. So yeah. So I like it. Thank you very much. That was really
Great. Thank you for sharing. That's really, really illuminating how it works. And all your symbols will be so deeply connected in like that start, I'm ready energy, right? So it may not make any sense to somebody else. Doesn't matter. Makes sense to your energy field. Yeah. Anyone else?
Andre raised his hand.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for that beautiful meditation. I received a flash of insight and inspiration, and I know it was more around beingness, but this was a specific action that I can take that feels very aligned as part of the bigger journey, the bigger dream. So thank you. It was beautiful.
Amazing. Great. Do you want to share your symbol or anything at all? Put it out into the world.
Happily. It's the Ankh.
The Ankh. Yay.
Yes. Yes. It's been coming up a lot for me.
I'm going to Egypt this year. I might have to talk to you about that.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think the Ankh is really beautiful because it's such a symbol
Yeah.
of balance and from the feminine, masculine, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what you're talking about in the beginning as well. So I think it's deeply connected to what you want and what you're desiring.
Yes, your communities. Wonderful.
Guillaume
Yeah,
raised his-
yeah, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, when we first went, when you said to go to a place, because I've been there before, so I did volunteer work there. I was actually in Canada, and I was in, because I did volunteer work in British Columbia, and I took some days off to go to Alberta, and I was actually in Alberta itself. And
Can you just hang on one sec? Can you hear the flapping? That's my big fat cat trying to get out the cat flap. One sec.
no,
And it'll
no,
make a noise until we
I'll
do
wait.
it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
He's got arthritis.
Yeah, so
Needs
I'll start
help.
again. Yeah. So I'll start a bit again. So where I was when you said to go to that special place, I was in Alberta, Canada, because I've been there before when I was there for 3 months doing volunteer work. And when I went to the forest and did the initiation, I actually really, in my mind, I really shouted it out loud, saying I am ready. And what I received, the only thing I received was that a golden heart. That's all I received. Yeah.
There's a real similarity in the symbols that are going on. It's very interesting. Yeah, fabulous. Love it. And that's your connection. You know? Yeah.
That radiation of
Great.
love and connection to, yeah.
Yeah.
My symbol
you.
was a heart. My symbol was a heart too.
Woo!
But it was like a crystal red heart. And what I feel is that the I am grace and ease is by leading from my heart and allowing that trust and embodiment of who I am. And that's when I lead forward. Then it is when I lead from my heart, I am moving with grace and ease. And I am ready to, I have a few I've been in contemplation whether to move forward on a couple projects for this year. And I know I'm meant to, like I've had the guidance to do it, but I feel the fear. And so that's, I think that's the goal. You've got the nudge. It's all gonna work out. Just lead from your heart.
It's totally going to work out. And I've said this before. I mean, those of you who might follow some of my work that I've been talking about recently, there is an extraordinary year ahead, even in Chinese astrology. And there's a little piece in the Feng Shui, which is quite interesting, that only occurs every 180 years. And it is that power is moving into the hands of middle-aged women. That is one of the symbols. And yeah, I know, yay, hello, all of us. Like, hello, all of us, right? But what's so interesting about it comes out in this real statement of bizarreness, like middle son's wife will X, Y, and Z, right? In the Chinese way of saying it. But it's rare. And when women move in, one of the other signs for all of us is that those who take risks this year will be successful. It's like, so if you had to bet on something, bet on the risk. So if you sat there trying to make a decision like, oh my God, should I pay the money or not? Should I do this or not? Should I accept the invitation or not? It's like, yes, you should this year. This is not the, hold back and prudence and all the other energy of like, ooh, steady. It's not that. It's like risk wins this year. And if you happen to be a middle-aged woman as well, rock on. It's not very attractive, but whoa, go ladies. So did Maria want to say anything as well? And that will be everybody who's present having shared, and then we move on.
Yes, I'd like to say something. I really felt that I'm ready. So for me this year, I took a bit longer Christmas break, very quietly at home. And often I set my intention for the year only on when the new moon is in Aquarius. So next month also is the Chinese New Year, because the Capricorn falls in my 12th house. So I go more in seclusion from astrology, but really because I was very quiet the last 2-3 weeks. So I feel ready, because next week I start everything again. So this gave me the boost. And my symbol, where is it? I can find it. No, I don't find it, sorry. My symbol was a white crystal.
Ooh.
And then I realized it's a pendulum, and it's a pendulum I actually used this afternoon, and I haven't used it in 6 months.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
What is the shape on the end of the pendulum?
It's a triangle.
Triangle. Well, I'm feeling intuitively there's a really strong visual connection between all of your symbols, actually. So what that means is sometimes when I run big groups and you spot some symbols, it'll be like, ooh, interesting. But this is like, whoa, what a united front of, there's an energetic here that is right at the beginning that's helping us move forward. And, very much with Capricorn, it's the mountain goat, that it's the CEO of the astrology, right? It's really high business, and it goes all the way, like a little goat, and it goes all the way to the top with this steady progress. It's sure-footed. It's like Earth's foundations are solid, and this is part of making them so here today. So great.
Amazing. So I feel let's end this beautiful session.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Did you have
yeah,
something?
when you said, because I had my camera turned off. So when you said, face east and the thing, I really moved around here in the room.
Great.
So
Yeah.
from the
Embody it.
shaking, I kept my camera off, so I just was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, does anyone else have something to share before we move into the final piece? No? Okay. So we would like to end the piece with a dance in celebration and just really to feel it, anchor your desires, anchor in what you're creating, you're ready, and really move it into the body. And so, yeah, let's get ready to do that. So standing up, just taking a few moments, placing your hand on your heart, on your belly, take a few breaths. And then just bringing into your mind, like, what are you ready for? What are you ready to take on this year? Maybe you want to bring your symbol into your mind's eye as we start to move into this dance, and just let it go and celebrate you and celebrate this beauty and celebrate this energy that we've created in this session today. We're just getting ready. Take some deep breaths, just getting the music ready for you. See, sorry, wrong song. Okay, here we go. Right on. Slowly start to take the movement slower and slower, checking anything else out, bringing it all back in, down, ground through the feet. And you can just stay standing or come and sit down as we close. Phew, that was good. Ah, well done, everyone.
It felt great. Feels
Ah,
great.
That's so good. I've
Yeah.
never, I mean, I think the song, I was like, I just heard it for the first time today. I was like, oh, that's the one for tonight.
You bet.
Yeah.
Well, so we have come full journey round to your new moon. One thing that people who don't understand the moon cycles is you won't see it tonight, but 3 days later you will. And in kind of ancient witchy circles, indigenous teaching, etc., there's a thing about the third day after the new moon, which is what we would practice on. We wouldn't actually do so much on the actual day of the moon like we do today. You marinate the work and you release it on the third day. And I think it's a lot to do with being able to see it. It's like visible. So know that you're in this marination, but really send it out today. Like use this like an activation of your declaration of what you're doing. And we are working through a whole bunch of different key pivotal moments on the journey up to this summer solstice. Some of you may know that like 4 years ago, when I was looking at the astrology of entering New Earth, which we did on the 20th December 2020, when all the planets lined up, and it was like a sign of moving into the age of Aquarius, that the first phase of that was going to be ugly. There was a whole bunch of, nasty old order clinging on to, old order energies. And we've seen it. We've gone through so much of COVID, the energy crisis, Ukraine war, Gaza, etc. But when I was looking ahead from that point on, I was like, 2024 is the boom moment. This is when we move past some of that old Klingon energy into now we accelerate. And so anybody who's moving their projects forward, their life, it's such an auspicious year. And we will be celebrating that with the summer solstice event. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Sam, also.
It's going to be so great. There's just going to be so many facets to it, and so many beautiful people like Johannika in the bottom corner. She's going to be with us sharing her medicine, and other women, and another man's going to be there. So there's a collective, and I really feel like what Birthing a New Earth is about, and what Anara and I are talking, it's a collaboration. It's the way forward, and collaborating, coming together and sharing. And so it's just going to be magic to have all these different people to be able to listen to and to share, and for them to give their insights. And then let alone like what Anara has said about the particular alignment, the solstice, the full moon. It's just like in the year, everything is just like lining up to make this really magic, and just to kind of help us to continue, like I think we, all of you are here for There you have a deep calling within, like otherwise you wouldn't be here. And it's really beautiful to share and be. And I think this is going to help us when we come into groups and we share what we're going through and what we want to create and what we want to bring into this world. It's really inspiring to be around other people that are on that similar path and wavelength. And so I think any way we can gather is essential and beautiful. And why not do it in Cornwall? And it's a beautiful spot and with beautiful people and beautiful timing.
Yeah. And our next one, you mentioned the man who's coming in. I have a lot of friends in the male world who are working specifically with men, like men who are working with men. And I have such deep connections with these guys. Like they're some of my best friends. We take ourselves off. Ironically, I don't really work women on women much. I attract a lot of women clients, but I've always felt like it's really important for me to work with the kings as well. So I always have a few good men who I work with. But the new one that I've attracted in for this particular teaching is, we'll see him on the 25th of this month. I'm going to be doing something with him specifically on the full moon in Leo, which is part of the path to pleasure. And he speaks about, in a nutshell, he was talking to me yesterday about how you can have a series of circumstances which cause rage, tension, all this kind of stuff. And you'll have a story about it, which is victim-like. And he talks about when you're in that mindset, the stories that you hold are all about your fate. Like, I was fated to have this happen. And what he shifts you in, he uses a lot of neuroscience, trauma release. He talks about you came in as a soul to create your destiny on the planet. Now, if that also included some of these harsh lessons, hardships, difficulties that you had to get over to build your capacity, then what you're creating is destiny. And the two things can be seen as the same, fate or destiny, but actually what he does is all this trauma work to get you to drop the old stories, integrate them, and to start to move it into, this is my destiny. So he's great. His name is Michael Walker from California. And here's my king. Here's the other king, Panther King. So there'll be a lot of work for men as well, which is really, I feel, vitally important right now that we do that. And his take on it is, women are so highly evolved with their emotional state of being that they can work very well with women and with men. But men, if they need an initiation, it's got to be with a guy. And it's kind of interesting how his take on that, like it's the brotherhood is so broken because they've been so suppressed and not able to take on their emotions. It actually needs male leadership. And I really get that. Like, when he speaks it, I'm like, yeah, brother. So there's a lot happening. And I'll put up the link here for the actual event. But what we're about to do is add him. So you are all welcome. And I know that Sam is going to do some deals on this event very soon. So if you're interested and you want a deal, please do step forward and say it, because we can probably make that happen. It's time for the deals. Let me just get this. God, speaking and doing the thing at the same time is very hard for me. I can't speak and do the thing. Here we go. So it's Path to Pleasure, summer solstice. We have payment plans. I'll put this in the chat now so you can have a look at it and know that I'm just about to add him into it. But you can take it off and look at it. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. Anything anyone else wants to say? Oh, you're an Aquarius and your husband is a Leo. Oh, very cool. Opposites do attract. Yeah, I'm an Aquarius and I have no idea who my partner is, but I'm radiating. I am radiating. Yeah. Any other words before we go? Happy new moon. Make it a powerful year. And see you on the 25th. We'll send
Thank
you
you everyone for
information.
coming tonight. It was really beautiful.
Thank you.
The time of the next meeting will be 4 p.m. British time because we're trying to get California in on that. So he's coming in at 8 a.m. his time, and I'm 4 in England, and it'll be like 5 in Europe. But sadly,
Us Australians
Yes.
Maria will be asleep.
we're asleep. Yeah, but we can send them the recording.
You know, I surprise you sometimes in summer.
You surprised me a lot. Maria has been up for some of my events 3 in the morning watching them consistently 1 year. So respect and
Let's see.
much love to all of you. You
Thank
are
you.
ready.
I am ready.
You are ready.